Okay, so even though this is wrestling, but I still want to cover some MMA thing, some news for this one. Lillian Garcia is the new in-cage announcer
Saw
for
this.
PFL MMA, stands for Professional Fighting League, and the tournament starts today. It
Yeah.
started today, so yes, Lillian Garcia is now an in-cage announcer for that tournament. So definitely happy for Lillian to do some new things outside of wrestling. Um, since we this happened, the NWA Crockett Cup, the Villain Enterprises won the Crockett Cup tournament. Nick Aldis is still the NWA champion, but the match was not easy. Marty Scurll and Nick
Oh,
Aldis definitely went at it. It was a brutal, bloody battle. Even Nick said that, yes, I'm still the NWA champion, but it was not an easy match. That's for sure. So yeah, definitely, it's one of those matches you got to check out. And even the Rock and Roll Express were a part of the Crockett Cup. So
that's a weird thing. Yeah.
well, at
We
least they
saw
can.
them at WrestleCon.
Yeah, I know, but
They
they
were at
can.
WrestleCon.
I saw them wrestle at the NWA Crockett Cup, dude. They can still go. Those
That's
guys can
amazing.
still they can still do hurricanranas. They can still do all that stuff. And here's another one that should definitely interest us. AEW's Bea Priestley was going to go up against WWE's Tony Storm, but that's not the case anymore because it will not be taking place at the Korakon Hall show in May 16th because WWE pulled the plug on that.
Oh,
Oh, so they're not competition, huh?
dude,
Well,
WWE sees them as competition. I just don't think AEW sees themselves at that level yet, so they're not going to be coming out and saying it.
AEW is taking the cool approach of we're going to let the big bad company screw it over for themselves. We don't have to do anything bad. We can just relax and wait, and we're just going to let the corporate giants over here just do it in on themselves. And that's the approach AEW is taking. It's very smart. Very
Yeah.
smart business.
definitely. Yeah, it was weird how I saw it, but then I just saw that Priestley, she barely signed to AEW. This was going to happen, but well, we saw what happened. Bare Knuckle Fighting number 6 is coming to Tampa, Florida, June 22nd for this fight, and we all know what's gonna that fight. Paulie Malignaggi versus Artem Lobov.
What's the date again on that?
It's June 22nd.
Okay, that's still a while away.
Yeah,
But
in Tampa, Florida. This is actually the first time it's going to be held in Tampa, Florida. So for bare knuckle, and
they need to
still,
come out here.
well,
need
they
to come
still
out
got a
here.
number of states for it to be legal. So
Oh wow,
there's only a couple states that are legal. That
it's
should be like,
California.
I don't know. It's just Wyoming. I think like up in the Middle East, up in
Middle
the
East.
no, I'm not saying Middle East. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
Midwest. Sorry, Midwest. Yeah, Midwest. So only some of those states are legal for bare knuckle to happen. AAA for September 15th, the day before September 16th, Independence Day for Mexico. AAA will be invading Madison Square Garden for the first time ever. So that's the first time. That's the first time ever for AAA history in the making for these guys. So be on the lookout for that September. So we'll give you some more details for that. Um, okay, so for dream match of the day, I think I may have talked to you guys about this guy. This guy, I'm pretty sure the RKJ man doesn't, he has his, despise for him. Greg Hardy, we all know who he is, right? And we know his history.
Hat.
That's right.
See it, the Carolina Panther hat. Played for
Yeah.
it.
How would you like it if you want to see, in the future, even though Greg Hardy is a heavyweight and in the division of the heavyweights, why don't we like to see a match between Greg Hardy versus, I don't know, the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis.
That actually could happen. I mean that's a he called out Derrick Lewis, didn't he? His last fight.
Yeah, and I did see a lot of the number of fans actually wanting to see a
I
match
want
like
to see that fight.
that. Why not?
That should be. I mean, Hardy's good. Okay, the only reason he lost is because he didn't know the rules. Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't like he got his ass kicked.
Hmm.
He's shown that he can be a legitimate UFC fighter, a legitimate UFC champion. I don't know, but I want to see it. Prove him against one of the best. Derrick Lewis just came off a fight with what? Daniel Cormier, right? Last time.
Yeah.
So, right, if Derrick Lewis is facing the champ, and you want to try to prove to everybody Greg Hardy can actually fight, might as well give him a legitimate contender, right? Well, he beat up women in the past. He did it. He got punished for it, and everybody hates him. But if he can fight in the UFC and you want to market him as a star and want to put him on these ESPN cards, then you have to, give him a legitimate opponent, right? Give him like Junior Dos Santos, right? Someone older, Cain Velasquez, right? Give him someone like that.
Francis Ngannou.
Don't put Cain in there.
What'd you say?
Francis Ngannou.
No, we don't need to do that. No.
I don't want to see Cain Velasquez in no more matches, man. After watching that UFC on ESPN fight, he gets beat in like a minute after tripping. I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, just put him out to pasture, man.
That was Francis Ngannou, though.
Yeah.
It's a whole Francis Ngannou. I'm telling you, is going to be the next after Daniel Cormier. Francis Ngannou will be the next heavyweight star, no doubt.
That's right.
Is he the African American Brock Lesnar?
He's better than the African American Brock Lesnar.
We're seeing more Nigerian, stars, rising. Kamaru Usman, and then Adesanya, Yeah, definitely. So we're seeing more of these guys coming in the UFC.
Yeah, and I forget who's Ngannou facing next time? Oh, he's facing Junior Dos Santos.
Santos, yeah, he's facing him.
Okay. That's probably why I thought of his name. But I like that. I like that dream match. I'll do an interesting one here. Dream match of the day for me, as the RKJ man is moving around his camera, giving me epilepsy over there on the right.
My leg is going to sleep something fierce over here. I'm trying to keep the light on my face and everything, and my leg is going to sleep. It's gonna die.
Well, move your leg.
Try to exercise a little.
That's why I'm freaking moving. I have the laptop on top of the leg.
I'll go with one that's never going to happen, but I thought should have happened in the past. When both of these guys were in their prime, Brock Lesnar versus Junior Dos Santos from back in the day, circa 2012 or whatever, whenever it was, circa 2013. They never got to face. Brock Lesnar faced Cain Velasquez and lost. But I think if you would have put, the best Brock Lesnar UFC fighter or UFC fight, versus the best Junior Dos Santos that was, I think that would have been a really, really good fight. And it won't ever happen, obviously. So that's my dream match.
It was going to happen during the Ultimate Fighter, but diverticulitis.
Yeah, of course. Good old Divert.
Mm-hmm. You were RKJ man?
So I'm gonna go with the wrestling one. Give me Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley versus his former persona in the WWE, Dean Ambrose.
Well, Jon Moxley's whooping his ass.
Who's winning? Yeah. We know Jon
Moxley.
I think Moxley. Yeah, Moxley. Yeah.
Well, what kind of match is it?
Hardcore match. I think it's a death match.
Oh, then that's not fair. That's like putting Anderson Silva in Brazil.
It's a Chicago death match.